thing is election of officers, president. How many nominations for president?
Well, I made Bob.
The nomination for Bob, is there a second?
I'll second Bob.
Second. Are there any other nominations for president? Any other nominations for president? Okay, we have a motion and a second for Bob Hermanson as president. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Bob is president.
Okay, we need a nomination for vice president.
I'll make Nick. Second.
Any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? I have a motion by Staffer, second by Chris, to nominate Nick Zubel as vice president. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. 4C is clerk. You still doing it? You still up for it, Stacy?
I nominate Stacy.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to nominate Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy.
You're the best. Did somebody second that?
I did.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nomination? Motion by Hermanson, second by Staffer, to nominate Stacy Gratz as clerk. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item D is treasurer. Go up for it, Jeff.
I nominate Jeff. Second.
Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? I have a motion by Staffer, second by Zuber, to nominate Jeff Rickers as treasurer. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion. Motion carried. Thanks, everybody. Item 5, designation of school district depositories. They are the Bank of New Glarus, Apple River State Bank, and the State Investment Pool. Need a motion to approve those three as our school district depositories.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Zuber, to approve those three as our depositories. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 6, designation of official newspaper. In the past, it's been the Republican Journal.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion by Zuber, second by Staffer, to approve the Republican Journal as our official newspaper. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 7 is setting the board meeting days and time. For right now, I'm only thinking about going out in June, July, and August, and having one meeting only in June, July, and August. And thinking about the third Wednesday, that would give us time for Sheila to get Sheila and Steve to get the bills done in time, so we don't. And then going on from there, I have contemplated that we go down to one meeting a month. From there on, maybe the third Wednesday with maybe the second Wednesday as maybe a possible committee night, stuff like that. But we could discuss as that we get closer to August, September on out, so something like that.
All right, what's the motion for now, though?
We, the third Wednesday, for June, July, and August, 5 o'clock still work for everybody? You wanna do a different time?
Yeah, let's just do 5.
Let's do 5 o'clock?
Yeah, make it 7.
Okay, I need a motion to set for June, July, and August for the third Wednesday at 5 o'clock. All those in favor to set in those 3 months, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 8 is appointment of our legal advisor. It's been Boardman and Clark. Need a motion to approve them as our legal advisor.
Motion approved.
Motion by,
Motion
motion by Chris, second by Zuber to approve Boardman Clark as our legal advisors. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We can take the next two at the same time if you want. That would be the WSE correspondent and the CISA 3 delegate, which I've been both in the past. So you guys are fine with me doing those, or just taking them both at one time?
Perfect.
Sounds good, I nominate Bob.
Second.
Motion by Stafford, second by Zuber, to appoint Bob as the WSE correspondent and the CISA 3 delegate. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Item 6 is adjournment of,
adjourn. Second.
motion by Stafford, second by Chris, to adjourn the reorganization meeting. All those in favor say aye.
For the board meetings, did we just approve June, July, and August, or?
Yeah, just June, July, and August, and in August, we'll set the rest of the calendar year going out and stuff, so. Jeff, will get it signed. And then I will call the regular school board meeting to order. Kale, do you acknowledge public notice?
Yes.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call, please.
Bryson, Chris, Gratz, Hermanson,
Here.
King,
Here.
Rickers, Stoffaker,
Yep.
Zuberbuehler.
Yep.
Item 3 is public comment. Does anybody have anything for public comment? Okay, item 4 is adoption of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Stafford, second by Zuber, to adopt the agenda. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 5, approval of the minutes from the regular board meeting on April 22nd and the special board meeting on April 27th. All those, need a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Zuber, second by Chris, to approve those minutes. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 6, the treasurer's report is available on board book. If you have any questions, please let Kale know. Item 7, discussion action regarding the 2026-2027 open enrollment applications in and out of the districts. Kale?
Yeah, 3 in and 6 out. Of the 6 out, only one has ever set foot in the school. This is the usual thing where they're either 4K kids are just going wherever they're from, or they just moved into the district and they're open going back to wherever they came from.
What's the one exception?
So there's one exception to that. We know the reasons for it, and we can check into it.
If there's no other question, I need a motion to approve the open enrollment in and out.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Stafford, second by Chris, to approve the open enrollment applications in and out of the district. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 8, discussion action regarding the early graduation request. Mitch?
Yep, we have a student attending the alternative school. This is a little different than our typical early grad request. She's asking to be done after 6 semesters, so after her junior year, she's asking to be done. At the alternative school, it works a little bit different. She can work a little faster through credits because it's on an individual base, but she does have enough. She will at that point in time. Yep.
What was her reason for going there? Was it something other than?
She struggled. She came on with us that semester there. Truancy was a big thing for her, going to school, getting to school, and then just the anxiety, things like that, mental health.
Good enough.
And Mitch, can you explain why this is coming now instead of later in the year?
Per our policy, they have to submit that early grad request by the end of their 4th semester, so she'll be finishing her 4th semester of high school this spring. So she needs to be doing, next spring she'll be done.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Zuber, second by Stafford, to approve the early graduation request. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 9, discussion action regarding the camera video storage purchase.
We really need to replace our security cameras. The committee that related to this heard a presentation from Mr. Wolf. Total is gonna be about $60,000 to get the whole thing done. And we felt like when we left there was a consensus from the committee to split that over 2 years. So what we're requesting now is permission to purchase the first half, which would be like the servers mostly that store the footage, and then it's $30,000, and the next year we'll do about another 30 for the cameras, or the following year.
I just have one question. Is
cameras, is there a legislative, like, requirement for cameras in school, or this is completely our discretion for what we?
Everybody has them, but I'm not aware of any legal requirement.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Zuber, second by Rickers to approve the camera video storage purchase. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 10, discussion action regarding the Dev's online subscription. Mike?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a misnomer. It's a math program. We are in year 2 of our new schedule at DEMS. And one of the major goals of that schedule was to get more math time. There had been an imbalance, an inequity of English to math time, and we really wanted to provide more opportunities for math instruction for our 5/8 students. That's gone well, but time is only part of the equation. It's what we do with that time. So in adding 15 more minutes per day of math instruction than we had before, recently CISA 3 has promoted and adopted a research-based math curriculum that a lot of schools are adopting. It's called Spring Math. It is, they call it Tier 1.5. You've got your Tier 1 instruction, which is provided to all your students, and then you have Tier 2 instruction for those students who are maybe struggling to acquire skills, and then Tier 3 is for students receiving special education or significantly modified education. Call it Tier 1.5 because everybody gets this spring math. It's provided at the beginning of class in a short interval, and then using the data that is collected, you're figuring out which kids in that Tier 1 group are in need of more help or more practice, and you're gradually whittling down and really getting the responsive instruction for kids in math. The subscription is based on CISA 3, how many schools got involved. And so it started at, I think as high as 13 something a seat, but then with every tier of numbers that they got to commit for seats, that cost went down. And so once it got over 1,000 seats for all the schools that CISA 3 is partnering with, we got it down to $10.75 per seat. We're looking at using this for students in grades 5 through 8. We're looking to purchase 280 seats. So 280 seats at $10.75, that'd be just over $3,000, but then there's a $1,000 one-time implementation fee. So the total cost, $4,010. Knowing that it's an additional cost, we wanted to look at, okay, where could we maybe, offset that cost? So we wanted to look, and I know I referenced this once earlier, we wanted to look at iReady, and specifically there's an iReady teacher toolbox. We surveyed teachers, because that's a $7,000 price tag. We surveyed teachers just to find out how much are we using that teacher toolbox, how much do we need that. And what we found is that our special education teachers, they're using that teacher toolbox a lot, but that for our classroom teachers who are using iReady, that the teacher toolbox was not being implemented to a degree that if we were to forfeit it, that would be a huge loss. And we've got some other things, of course, with AI and things like that too. That's definitely changed the access to materials. Long story short, we were able to take that 7,000 and by focusing just on our special education teachers and the students who really utilize that teacher toolbox, we were able to save $5,599. So that more than offsets the cost of $4,010 that we would incur through this spring math. So I guess I want to just paint a complete picture for you of what the adoption of that spring math would entail and how we're going to bring that on board without raising our curricular costs.
Well, I applaud you for digging in and finding that unused resource that they were paying for. I think I just challenge all of us to keep looking. So how many other things do we have? I mean, they're in every organization. How many things are we paying for that we're not using?
Right.
I mean, this one we just stumbled across because we're like, hey, we gotta find it somewhere.
Right.
Let's keep finding it.
And you know, iReady, it's been part of our organization since before I became principal. Like a lot of things, its use has evolved and needs to continue to evolve. And so, yeah, the impetus is there, but continue to look for and survey our teachers. I know Mr. Wolf and I have talked about that too. Like when it comes to our online subscriptions and some of the let's continue to engage with our staff, find out what we're truly using, and if there are things that we're not truly using, let's look for those opportunities to match what we have with the function. So.
Any additional questions?
I have a couple questions. Anytime we talk about these programs that we're adding, and we're always talking about, well, we start at A, and then if the kid's not making A, they go down to the B or the second tier, to a little more help, then if they need more help, they're going to 3. We fail to talk about the kids, and there's always kids in those classes that are overachieving, that are bored with the just starting off the math, you know what I mean, especially math. But that, hey, I'm bored. What does that program do for those more advanced students?
Well, for one of the things is that it will give the kids that exposure to those concepts. So everybody's getting it, but for those kids who do not need the extra help, for one, they're removed from that delivery, but then spring math, what their research has shown them is that there's a huge benefit, and education, they've been saying this for years, there's a huge benefit from pairing kids together and having students who are really adept at a skill teach other kids that skill. So there's some very strategic pairing that goes on, and putting kids in situations where they have to explain their mathematical thinking to others. So spring math, they really believe that there's the mutual benefit of that. In addition to that, Jeff, one of the things we continue to look for, and I know our teachers, especially our 5-6 wing, they've done a lot of this. When we're using our win time, we want to make sure that, because it's what I need, that's what WIN stands for, we want to make sure that we're continuing to look for ways to pull not just the kids at one end of the spectrum who are struggling,
And that's what I'm getting at.
but to find some enrichment opportunities for those kids who are thriving. And in a system where resources are always limited, and your biggest resource is your teachers, trying to find ways within a schedule to have your best teachers working with the kids to stretch them. It's something we need to continue to push ourselves to find. I would also say that one thing we've talked about is how do we accelerate, especially with math. There are some systems. I think I just know from having worked at Monroe and where Val works. They're advancing kids a lot more than maybe we do, and one of the questions is when's the best time to do that? Because it isn't the best time that a kid gets to the end of 7th grade and we say, okay, now we look at sending them to high school and totally skipping 8th grade. Well, is that the best?
That's just one step, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
And what I'm talking about is incrementally pushing these kids, not just in math, but, you know, I'm just picking on math because it's easier to pick on. You know, hey, this kid is doing what, these kids are doing well in fifth grade math, how do we get them to go through the next step? So even when they're getting done in seventh grade, there's kids that can be doing, you know, geometry instead of their algebra,
Right.
you know, so. And if you wanna have kids get advanced in those specialties, that's what we, you know.
And math, because it's so sequential, I think that's the thing too, you know, ELA, and as an ELA teacher, I always felt like, you know, reading and writing differentiate themselves, right? You could always match kids with more challenging texts. I can always put kids in situations where they stretch their writing. Math, because it is so sequential. But I also think that we're in year 2 of our new 6-8 math curriculum. And it is definitely a math curriculum that is designed to push kids. And I feel as though we're just on the cusp of utilizing that curriculum more in the way that it's designed. We have a tendency sometimes of seeing kids start to struggle and then wanting to save them, when in reality we have to let them, with the right supports, we have to let them struggle with that rigorous curriculum. And I think it's been a shift. I know Molly Weigel has advocated that maybe we look to extend that curriculum down to fifth grade instead of our math expressions, because she just feels like that, you know, the fifth grade, that curriculum might better prepare them for 6, 7, 8. So it's on our radar. I mean, I don't know anybody who has the answers, but we're searching for them for sure. So.
And then my other question is, I know we just talked about the CISA budget here a meeting or two ago, and we paid that CISA fee to like 10 grand to be a part of the program. This is another CISA. Why are we paying another $1,000 then for an implementation of something they're selling us?
Right. So it's not a CISA product, right? It's an outside source. What CISA is, like I said, if we were just to approach the vendor for spring math and said, hey, we want to adopt this program because we've heard great things about it, and the schools that are using it, they're seeing great results, we'd automatically be paying that 13 whatever per seat. Because CISA is partnering with them, and because they're bringing on all these schools and making this commitment to that vendor, that's why we can get it for that 10. It's CISA doing some of that negotiating with us that we would have a hard time doing as a singular entity, and going to them and saying, hey, we want 280 seats, we want you to drop that price $3 a seat. They're gonna look at us like, we don't need your 280 seats. But if CISA 3 is saying, hey, we can get you all of these seats, then the vendor says, okay, we're gonna give you that.
And we're gonna continue to pay that $13 or $11 now every single year.
Right, it would be, it's a per seat. $1,000 would be the one-time setup, but it's, I wanna say it's a 3-year commitment. But I can, that's a good question, I can verify that.
And does CISA tack on something to it? Or is that the fact they're doing as part of the $10,000 that we pay? Like, are they
Yeah, I mean,
markup on us?
if they've got any kind of hidden costs, I'm not aware of it, but in essence, you know, they did the same thing with an AI product called Magic School, and they were really, you know, pushing on us to jump on board because they committed and they needed to get more schools involved. And I just said, it doesn't match the direction in which we're going, it doesn't match our vision, so we did not, you know, we don't grab every shiny new thing that's out there. But this one, it definitely, it's showing some really, really good results. And I just think, like I said, we have this added math time. I think this might be an avenue to really make that added math time more worthwhile. And we'll continue to study it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet, thank you.
Motion by Zuber, second by Stopper, to approve the online math subscription. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 11, discussion and action on the 26-27 budgets. They were proposed at last meeting. This meeting we're going to approve them. First one up is Dems. You got any follow-up on it, or any questions, or?
The only thing that is different about what you saw the last time is we added in the library, line item because there was no representation of the library budget outside of the common schools fund that they use. So there's $3,000 at the bottom in green, $2,000 that will show up on Mitch's budget. So that's just representative of the $5,000 that the library has. And then you'll see that for the electives, it's 2,200 that was formerly 1,400. The reason for that is just Lori Kudranowicz. She does a lot of very popular, very, I think very valuable cooking classes, and just the increase of the price of food stock for that, it's gone up. So that's $800 more than last year's elected budget.
How much of that budget didn't get used of these this year, or approximately not getting used? I know we still got a month of school left.
I would have to, I could find
It'd
that
just
out.
be interesting to see where we're at.
Yep.
But yeah.
I can definitely at the next
At the end,
meeting.
yeah, at the end of the school year, it's just nice to see, hey, this, they're using all the money, they're not, what caused it, who ran over,
Yep.
what they did for some reason that we allowed. Good.
Any other questions? Mitch, you, yeah?
Same as Mike, we added in that $2,000, to that library piece right down here, so we're at $113,000 total. That was the only adjustment really made on ours at that point in time. A few things are down just due to like the cycle of when we have to purchase maybe like our ACT prep, and a couple things are down just because there were some one-time purchases as well, of last year, but there are a couple increases, just due to numbers and forensics, and also the team builder app that we use for, fitness class that is utilized by athletes across the board went up as well.
Any questions for Mitch on that? If not, then the curriculum one?
Yeah, curriculum. I brought this last time, you guys had asked about the shipping piece. I had inquired with them again, reminded them that we had purchased quite a bit off of science as well, so shipping went down, and I can zoom in, possibly. We were at 3,000 for shipping, went down to 1,700. We also got the teacher editions for free as well in that. So that was a knockdown.
Free, I'm sorry, as well? Teacher's edition.
The teacher's editions, those were free but prior, but I wanted to make note of that as well. So the teaching pieces or the curriculum pieces there, and then totaling out at 44,250. The AP Environmental will probably come back again next year. They had told us not to purchase for an extended period of time because they are updating the text, but it isn't updated this year. I'm going to do it.
Any questions for Mitch on the curriculum? And the final one is the athletic budget.
Where is that one at, Bob? Got it.
Any follow-up on anything, Lindsay? Any questions on the athletic budget? If
The
no,
only thing I would say is we continue to add everything we're supposed to in that, like, maybe honestly for a good time,
I do think we need to start charging for some of our big track and cross-country meets. The amount of people here on Monday night was insane. And we go to these other track meets, and they were charging us $5. They're charging us for the middle school meet tomorrow night, or Friday night at Platinum.
No, the only thing I can say to you is I can't find the workers
I'll do it for 10% of the profit.
to hardly run
I'm
the
dead
track
serious,
meet,
like,
let alone,
well, maybe we'll have to look into making people have to help them.
and we're, that's thousands of dollars worth of budget. It really is. So, I.
That's
I'm
for
gonna bring it up
future
again.
going
I'm gonna
into
bring it
next
up
year.
again going into next year.
But I drove by and
About
was
the summer.
packed. I don't get it. I don't know how many people would have been here. We charge for a girls' basketball game or volleyball game or something like that, and there's this many people there, but then we have the opportunity to charge for this many people. We'd be better off not charging for a girls'
I
basketball game.
understand, I'm just telling you,
I understand. We'll work on it, but
Yeah.
there's too much to be
We'll help
given
you out
up.
with that piece of the pie. We'll have to think of something to encourage people. Or,
it's a lot of manpower to run a track meet.
it is, but the extra 4 to 6 people, even if it's the first hour of the track.
Is it illegal, or is it something we're concerned about with having our students use it as, I went to scholarship committee today, or the scholarships today. Is it illegal to have our students involved in handling that? I see no reason why we can't get some involvement
Our
with,
students can do certain pieces of it, and they do.
Well, cooperation, maybe 1 adult, 1 student at each place.
You have to have a minimum of 3 people at every event, a minimum.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, don't have just kids there, have an adult with each kid.
I go right now 2 adults to try to usually 2 students.
Okay. Well, yeah, but that's still using students. is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
we do use them.
cool. I say we work on that prior to next year.
I will tell you the piece that came out of my AD meeting in regards to that. We're looking at doing more of a structured pay system throughout the fall, because some schools are charging, some schools aren't. So we're looking at that already on the small end of things, so,
And I would assume the ones that are charging ain't gonna wanna stop charging. You know what I'm saying?
no.
So-
It's,
It looks like something we may wanna
Get
do
ahead
now.
of the curve.
but yeah, we'll have to look at a piece to find the more manpower.
And it won't be for all of them, but the biggest,
I think we can find them there.
Well, we could find a private contractor and we'd be way ahead.
we'll bring it up another day. We'll put it on agenda for another, this summer. Get it figured out before next year.
If there's no
Thanks.
additional questions, then I need a motion
I'll
to,
make a motion to approve the agendas as presented, or not agendas, the budgets as presented.
Second that.
motion by Zuber, second by Stopperger, to approve the budgets as presented. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item 12, discussion action regarding the 26-27 food service contract. Cal?
Yeah, Tyler started with us in January, doing a very good job. Actually, DPI just completed a major 2-day audit and found everything to be going very well in order. The increase for Tyler next year, we're looking at a 4%. So, price for lunch, $3.20 to $3.33. Price for breakfast from $2.10 to $2.18.
How many total dollars does that mean for the district?
That increase? Well, it's, if you work it out, put everything in, revenues, expenses, if everything stays going according to projections, we're gonna finish the year ahead by $7,500.
So 4% increase in cost is how many dollars?
I can tell you that.
Total cost per minute.
Yeah.
Is that, are we also increasing their service fee? Because they have like a built-in service fee, right, of 20?
Yeah, it's
1,000?
4% for everything.
So they're paying that 20,000, or is it 20,000? I don't know, I had 20,000 in my head.
We got 10,200 on there for general and admin fee.
Wow.
The total expense is $396,000, so.
12% is 13,000.
15,000.
questions?
So you mentioned with less people eating school lunch, how, cause that's a set cost, so how's that affect us or no?
That's not a set cost, because that's the price of the food.
Right, they have to hire people, do all this training and stuff, and the more people that they feed with that same overhead, they do better. And we're just in a weird, situation right now, because only being in half the year, and when we started back in January, we had very low participation. And it's been trending up, but they wanna actually see it continue trending up before they commit to too much next year.
Well, we're stuck and we're out of the DPI problem, so let's move on.
Motion approved.
Second that.
Motion by Zuber, second by Stacker to approve the 26-27 food service contract for Tar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item 13, discussion action regarding reinstating the after-school weight room supervisor pay.
Personnel committee met, they're recommending reinstating after-school weight room supervision pay to be equal to the same as the morning pay.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Zuber, second by Stacker to approve reinstating the after-school weight room supervisor pay. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item 14, discussion action regarding the co-curricular pay schedule increase. Cal?
Came up in the listening sessions to look at coaches' pay, so that's what we did. The committee's recommending an increase of coaches' pay of 2%. If you take the coaches' pay out of the total co-curricular schedule, the remaining things, Spanish club and et cetera, are 74,000 left. We're looking at another 1,400 if we just do 2% for the whole co-curricular chart. If not, the committee wanted to do 2% for coaches tonight, we could still do that and then just come back at another time and look at the other co-curriculars. The problem is, well, the committee was asking, reasonable question, like what do other schools pay for these other things, and should we do some comparison to see where we're at? It's very difficult. Sports are a little bit easier. Every sport starts practice the same day, has the same number of games, no matter what school you're at. When you talk about Spanish club or art musical, it's the amount of time and effort that these other schools put into these different things varies dramatically. So it's harder to compare.
It does for sport also.
What's that?
It does for sport also. The amount of time some people may put in compared to another one.
Right, but I think what he's saying is
I understand what you're saying.
one day you have a start and you have a finish.
I'm not comfortable going forward and just giving a raise through all those. I mean, I looked at the list, and I'm not comfortable going through and just doing that without looking at all that stuff on the committee. That's where I'm at with it.
I'm in the same spot. As a committee, we said we wanted to look at this separately, and we haven't gotten back together as a committee to look at this separately. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So you're okay with the coach?
The two coaches,
Yeah.
That's what we
as
discussed.
we discussed at the committee meeting.
Yes.
I'm just saying, when we get back together, we could probably have some comparisons. Here's what other schools pay for theater. Here's what they pay for Spanish club advisor, but we don't know how many times they meet and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I think we can take that in. I think we'll take that into, part of it. I would like to go through that. So, yeah, get what you can, and I mean, that's all you can do, and then we'll go through it.
So a motion would be to approve the 2% for the coaches pay.
Yep.
Second.
Motion by Stacker, second by Zuber to approve the 2% increase for the coaches pay. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 50, discussion action regarding additional postseason extension coaches pay. Yep.
The personnel committee didn't have a recommendation for this. They said that a decision would be made later. I don't know if you guys want to discuss it and have a decision here tonight, but there was a consensus by the committee to do something with an extension of coaches' pay. One possibility that was talked about was for the number of days, go by the daily rate times 1.5 to kind of reflect the extra effort that's required for the planning and scheduling everything to play out games. But there was not a vote on an official recommendation.
And just add on to some of that as we look at the other piece of it too, I know there are, like forensics, they do go to an extended postseason, so we should consider that, if we're looking at postseason extra pay, because they do put in that extra time to have some success. Just one conversation maybe, because their season does extend it in some form, maybe not quite similar to sports, but it is an extended season, and some kids don't go on as well.
Yeah, it's a tricky,
Right.
tricky scale on some of that, because we always have a track athlete at state.
Yep.
Oh, I can't remember a year that we haven't had a track, I mean, I can't remember a year we haven't had a wrestler at state. You know, so some of these individual sports, or somebody cross-country at state, you know, whether it's an individual or team, so it gets a little bit funky, that's why we're sure on how to do so, but yet those coaches are putting in more time outside of the regular season. So,
It gets hard when you look at, it's like, hey, all right, so we know that this is gonna happen for these events. So
yeah,
how much of that's already kind of baked into the thing?
exactly,
But
that's
we
exactly.
don't know what's gonna happen for these events, but when you look at,
Yeah, your
the
softball, your
additional-
baseball, your football, you know, some of those.
I think for team sports, it's easy, for individual sports, it becomes difficult. It's a gray area.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Nick, that's a good point, so we gotta discuss that.
You want to bring it back and discuss it, we'll have to discuss it.
Yeah,
So we'll just table that for tonight.
I just wanted to make sure everybody was kind of heard our point of view.
Okay, item 16, is discussion action regarding the 26-27 school year calendar. Yep.
Yeah, way the calendar is currently set for next year, Memorial Day is on Monday, and the kids come back to school for a day and a half after that on Tuesday and Wednesday in June, 2nd and 3rd. If we were to, instead of getting out of school at 1:30 on Fridays, get out of school at 2 o'clock, that would add enough minutes for the students so that they could get out of school that Friday in May and before Memorial Day. The teachers then would have a couple days to make up still if we did that. What we're proposing would be to tack on a couple more days to the in-service in August before school starts.
Everybody's on board with that?
Yeah, we did a survey of the teachers and they were 2/3 supportive.
We're gonna
those
be-
that wasn't supported, why?
Are we gonna continue to do Fridays at 2 o'clock then for the foreseeable future?
That's what we'd be recommending, but that'd be up to you. You could do a 1-year trial or something, but yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't continue it.
I'm all in favor of that. Okay, sounds great. I make motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Stopker, second by Rickers to approve the new 26-27 school calendar. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item 17, superintendent's, principals, activity director, building grounds reports, Cale.
Well, I've already mentioned the successful DPI audit. That was a huge relief. They came for 2 days, looked over everything, said everything's going well. Couple small things to correct, but the last words they said when they left was, "We'll see you in 3 years." The other thing I have on here is Governor Evers and the politicians in Madison reached a compromise last couple days on how to spend some of the surplus tax money that came in. We're going to be getting, they put a big pot of money in special ed, which for us is going to equate to about 70,000 extra dollars this year. And if I understand this right, like the next couple of weeks, we should be getting that in, and still going this year's budget. And then next year, 190,000. Then they had this other big pot of money that went to schools in the form of aid. That won't do anything for our budget, but that will lower our mill rate down. We were, because of the FEMA gym and overspending, we were projected to have our mill rate tick up next year. It was looking at all those videos I did, I show projections of going up to 7.3. I just put pencil to it quickly, and I'm estimating somewhere in the neighborhood of 6.9 now instead of that.
What was it last year? 73?
Last year was 6.
Nine.
It was, I don't remember. Definitely 6 something.
Basically flat then.
Yeah. Or slide it up.
But that'll be nice payment of one night.
Yeah, for sure.
Any additional questions for Cal? Not, thank you, Cal. Mike?
All right, middle school track has their last meet tomorrow, so it's a good season, it's fast season. Carpet donation that, Casey Lang, someone approached him about, and I just wanted, we don't have donations on the agenda, but I just wanted to portray what it would entail. 10,800 square feet of carpet at zero cost, which would be more than enough to do the library, this room, our office areas. The only thing that we would need to do would be to pay for the installation. And so Casey did some figuring and looked at 2,500 for tactile, to put that carpeting in. And so, I know we're not here to approve donations, we just wanted to make you aware of the potential for that.
Who's donating that again?
His cousin works for
What was the
Carpet
name
company?
of the- Yeah, I can't remember the name of the company, but they have some carpeting that, came in and ended up,
They sold it to a company for an office space. The company canceled the office lease. The next company that came in to lease it didn't like it, so they didn't utilize it, and so they have all this carpet.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's nice.
they brought a sample in, I should have
Were
brought that.
we on schedule to replace all the carpets in the?
It hadn't been on our radar, but
It wasn't something but we certainly have, a lot of areas that, this has been in here for,
Yeah, I'm just asking.
yeah,
Like,
I think the library's original to the building,
and,
or one of the rooms is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
and it's a good material, so, just wanted to, put that out there. I know you had approved last year that, Brady Olson come and do a compete, camp. Just wanted to make you aware of the fact that, that's happening again here in Darlington, June 25th and 26th. So there'll be information coming out about that.
Did we charge him last year? It was mostly Darlington kids,
Right,
right?
Right, it was, we considered a relative, I don't know if anybody from out of district came. So, so that's just an awareness piece. And then just a quick summer school update. Enrichment forms went out and signups have come in, and we're at that spot where Lori's doing work with the teacher, the rosters and letting the teachers know how many they'll have in their various classes. Again, we'll have a budget, for you at the next meeting. And again, that's kind of contingent on those numbers. But then also from a tutoring standpoint, just a comparison. Presently, we have 161 students committed for our summer tutoring program. That's compared to 115 from last year. So we were able to increase our number of commitments. That's a product of a lot of people's hard work and, sending out messaging and then phone calls and just being relentless about offering that opportunity. And then, this year because we had more time, again, we wanted to do the commitments before doing the staffing. But even in spite of an increase in, students, because of the ability to really schedule, intelligently, we will have 9 teachers, compared to the 10 teachers we had last year. So enrollment's up, teaching staff down, and again, that's just been us being able to, look at those groupings and really put kids in, spaces. Still intending to have that at the Methodist, Education Building downtown. Again, the reason for that is, providing more, possibilities that students can walk, to that location. We've got the commitments for the teachers that we need, and so, excited about excited about that, especially given the results we saw last year for those students who attended. So, that's
Any questions for Mike? If not, thank you, Mike. Mitch?
Yeah, as we close out the year, we always start to begin looking at things for next year. Chromebook cases, we provide a Chromebook case, but we're seeing an uptick of kids starting to really carry some large Chromebook cases that are maybe similar to the size of a backpack or larger. And that just, there's some safety issues in that, but also then kids are carrying extra food, extra drinks, things that we don't want in the classroom that are distractors. So we're gonna kind of put our foot down a little bit and say, hey, we're carrying our Chromebook cases that we're providing to you. So that would be something to look at and get some messaging out on it soon. Day 1, day 2 has also been a topic of conversation. We're gonna look at navigating or officially navigate away from day 1, day 2, meaning FIAD would be every day and choir would be every day as well. It also has a slight effect on driver's ed, but we're fixing those, we're working through those things, but it's actually we think better for us in the future here as we move forward that. Another update to business, we did work with Southwest Tech and we got business transcripted courses now, meaning kids can earn college credit for accounting 1, intro to business, and computer apps. We're looking at personal finance. We have a little hesitation on that because Joel, when he went to the meeting, it sounds like Southwest Tech might make that one disappear within a year, so we didn't want to necessarily do all that work for it to be gone, but we're still vetting that process and to see what it looks like. There could be some curriculum updates because we do have to align with Southwest Tech for that college level course or to get that college credit, but that's a pretty exciting opportunity for our students as well. And we're working on the welding side of things for that too, so that one could be coming down the pipeline too. Today we had our awards day for scholarships for our seniors. We had over $600,000 handed out, which is pretty awesome for our seniors as they get ready for graduation, which is next week. And then just wrap up the year, we've been doing our AP testing, and then we had an ACT email come out today too. I'm gonna look at it further tomorrow. They said there was some miscalculation in the writing scores that may have affected some students. They didn't necessarily say our students, I think it went out throughout the state. So gonna vet that and then see what messaging we can get out to parents as well. That's kind of what's going on at DHS, just gearing up for graduation next week, baccalaureates this weekend, and we'll go from there.
Okay, for graduation, myself, Jeff, do you want to be on stage? Stacy, do you want to be on stage?
Stacy?
She's on mute. Matt, do you want to be on stage?
No.
So it'll be the three of us will be on stage. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah,
Mitch?
I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out how to.
Do you wanna be on the stage?
Yeah, do you wanna be on the stage? Stage?
Yeah, that, if there's nobody else to do it, I will.
Yep, it'll be the three of us.
Perfect.
That works.
Any other questions for Mitch? If not, thank you, Mitch. Lindsay?
We're finishing up regular season play, heading into tournament play. Softball has their seeding meeting on Sunday. This coming Sunday, the 17th. Baseball will be next Wednesday, their seeding meeting. Track has conference meet in Southwestern on Monday the 18th, and hopefully weather's not looking great. And their regional meet will be Tuesday the 26th. Boys golf is conference meet next Tuesday, May 19th. Just an update from last night. As you guys know, we had a discus incident. So that is something we will need to look at what we want to do if we want to take down some pine trees, or another option, we can move it to where the old one is. Currently we're by the football shed, and use that way if we want to do, use that for shot and disc.
I know Ben and I talked about it, I interrupted you, sorry, but I was down there for both of them. We had an incident the day before, a guy got hit in the back as well with a disc. So I talked to Ben a little bit about it. I think we need to remove, as far as moving the disc, I had a comment from both Guy Cop and another throwers coach, because we were talking about different things. They like our setup because it allows one coach to be able to coach. It wouldn't have one throwers coach, it allows one coach to coach both disc and shot. So I think the way we have it set up, I just think we just need to tweak it as far as removing some pine trees, maybe cutting up some of the ones we have still there that we keep, just moving them, like cut them up so we can get underneath of them.
Yeah, cut them up.
And then either putting some sort of a seating area for spectators, looking at how we possibly could do that as well, maybe just roping off a little bit more, so we don't have incidents like we had the other night, so.
What about just moving it out some 10 yards, both of the pits?
I think so, but I think we need to get rid of those trees, the trees are overgrown, I think they.
So here's another part, like, if you guys wanna look at charging, that's,
You're gonna have to have someone over there.
Because they all stand by the fence, they never come
you,
in. None of
they
the
will
throwers.
never ever
That's
get.
why the trees may come in handy.
So, but moving it to the other end, you could still put both down there, you can put your shot in this.
Well, that's fine, I don't care where we
Oh,
put
So-
it, I think you need to have both of them close.
Yeah,
The throwers coaches like to have those so they can monitor both, because a lot of teams only have one throwers coach, so they can't, if the girls are throwing, they can't have, and then the guys are throwing shot up at the other end, like Southwestern, they complain about it, and they're way down at the other end, and they can't get out of the boat, so.
so just something to think about,
Yep.
what we wanna do, and if you do wanna start charging, that fence needs to be fixed down there. It's completely down, so,
How soon do you think we can have some action though on that? Because that's just a mess down there. I was down there last night and I'm like, you got senior citizens ducking and going under trees.
Ben said right away, he's got nothing else to do.
Okay. I mean, I guess I just
That's
look at it,
true.
if we can predict something,
Word for
if we can
Yeah,
predict something.
but here's the deal, do we have any more track?
No, you don't have any more
So I don't think we
track
need to
meets.
do it tomorrow.
No,
You know what I mean?
But I just
We're
want.
on a track meets, right?
yes, he knows,
This summer.
summer, yeah.
Be a summer
He,
project.
Ben and I talked about that.
How do people get hit by the discus? I'm sorry, but that's
So
a logical question. Yeah, how do we have people in a position to get hit in the head though? I don't know.
Because kids don't know how to throw this
Right,
correctly.
we had.
Or a
an open
shot.
meet- We had an open meet yesterday, which means unlimited entries, and the first two flights, I'm telling you right now, we had people that shouldn't have been throwing that were throwing, and that was part of the reason. Ultimately, where the guy was sitting was not a good spot. I think we could alleviate that by, if we had some ropes.
Well, they have
I mean,
cages now.
I almost, Cal and Chris almost smoked me in Cuba City, so with a shot put.
Yeah.
So I mean, things happen.
You put a
I
cage
just think that showed us like what we need to do in the future. Then there was a guy throwing 190 feet last night too, so that we just need to be prepared when we know that we got guys that can throw 190 feet that we aren't there. So,
So how, if this is a normal discus,
yeah.
how far, are we talking they threw 90 degrees?
I would say a hard 90 degrees
Yeah.
because.
It's
yeah.
amazing it didn't ricochet back in, actually.
Yeah.
She let it go,
Just touch the pine tree.
yeah.
And this is common, we've had people even from our own team get told to throw discus or shot that night, they've never thrown it.
Really?
We ain't making this up.
Really?
Thank God, the girl that threw it was terrible and wasn't one of our, like,
Hard throwers.
one of the better throwers in the third flight. He got him dead. I mean, he was dead. It was a wobbler, but.
Can we increase that cage size?
Yes,
You can go out farther,
Okay.
right?
you,
Okay. And where
We'll work
he
on
was
it.
sitting, we could not allow people, we
We
could rope that off. too.
actually
Just with the
need
rope
to,
and-
that cage was grandfathered in when they changed it. You're really supposed to be, I think it's 5 feet from the sector line, so we need to add, we can add another part onto it.
I think that'd be easier than actually moving everything out of there. But we'll figure it out this summer.
So we'll just work on a plan and bring it back to us. Any other questions for Lindsay?
No, thanks.
No,
Lindsay.
If not, okay, Ben?
So our turf tank got installed Monday. This is not what we're doing by any means. I mean, the Redbirds in the end zone and the logo is not set in stone. I just threw this together just to put in perspective, like, what it will be doing and what we won't have to do anymore. So it's essentially gonna paint everything. There will probably be some stuff we'll still hand spray, but as you
Ben,
can
how long would
see.
that take to paint?
What's that?
How long would, like, if not that's it, but.
So the numbers and just all the lines and the coaches boxes and everything, so no logo in the center, no end zone text, it's 5 hours.
So
right
just to
now.
give perspective of what.
Yep, and it tells you up front how long it's gonna take you and how many gallons of paint it's gonna need, so
would
you
do
can
that by
mix
hand,
it all
take you,
up.
What, 3 days?
Oh, at least, yeah, I mean, it'll be a half a day to paint.
And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm hearing chatter and crowds of, you know, like, people were complaining about our robotic lawnmowers and how it was stupid, and I heard it last night, the other night at the check meeting. They had no idea, so I just, people ask, like, why are we doing this? This is why we're doing it, and how much time it does save us.
You know what Snapchat, bitch about it too.
I know, but
Well, I mean, no, Nick brings up a very good point. It's all about perception. Right now, the perception in the community and some of these things we're talking about is we spent way too much money on it. It wouldn't be a bad deal to do a simple little, on our school Facebook post to show the cost and the whatever, and show it working what it is. You know, I'm not-
Show the potential,
I mean,
the savings.
what a great idea to utilize our page for something like that also.
Yeah.
Get some kids down there, talk about RTK, talk about where we're gonna go, how it runs off the satellite, all of those things. What a wonderful way to approach it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me and Mr. Johnson been working together too. He's wanting to do, he's been talking about in his landscape class, he would like to figure out some coursework as well to incorporate the mowers and the striper.
Awesome.
And things like that. So he came out for the demo. I invited him. He was there for probably a half hour, so, and we chatted again about it today. I showed him this picture. He wants to get in the app and learn how to run it and see how it goes like that and stuff, but he has told me he'd really like to tie.
Anytime we can pull
Some
our,
of this
our
stuff.
students into this technology, it's twofold, right?
Yep.
And Matt, the video, the post that you see that having the mowers and the painter, and having it be one, here's how the whole thing works, or just the painter?
Either or. Personally, there's a lot of misconception up there. Some people put out that we spent 80 grand on mowers.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not the case. It's not even close to that. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think their need is very, you know, if they work with the warranty and the time that you say we're gonna save, that's something we need to talk about. You know what I mean?
We haven't put a mower on either field yet.
What's that?
We haven't put the mower on either field yet,
A gas mower.
a gas.
No, I'm talking about the you know,
Yep.
Right.
Whatever,
Just
you know what I mean?
The time we've already, you know, the time and manpower that we've saved.
Yep.
I think that
Just
is-
today, yeah,
Yes.
to now.
Yep, so I just threw this up here to show you what it will actually be painting.
Will you do a test run prior? Like,
Yeah, so we're gonna use the Erickson camp
oh,
as
great
the
idea.
test run.
Awesome.
And then also, I was playing around with it today, I figured out how to scale it down to like a 30-yard field and scale the DHS logo. So I might paint a small field on the playground at the elementary school for all the kids to play football at recess.
Oh, is it trial
And that'll give me some time to tinker with it and, you know, just figure out like how to scale everything and
Cool.
whatnot. And then the kids will have a replica field to play on at recess, so.
Good work.
Anything else, Ben?
Yeah, I was gonna give a mower update, just some fun facts. The football field mower has already logged 290 miles, and 185 hours of cut time. It's been keeping up, we've had no issues. I've mowed in some pretty heavy rain a couple times, went out, checked it the next day. There's been no cut quality difference from what it mowed the day before versus in the rain. It's been so dry, I've been trying to manage hours a little bit on it, but they've been working great. There's a couple areas I need to nudge the points out a little bit to get a little bit better on the edges. And we've had to unstick it a couple times. It doesn't like the hurdles in the grass and some stuff like that, but most of that I can reset from my couch and it'll reconfigure and move itself and carry on. So there's only been like 3 out of, I think, 17 times I've gotten an alert that it's been stuck, that I've had to actually go pick it up and move it. So they've been working real well. Our auction ends this Friday for all the stuff we've had. Everything's got a bid on it except the blue folding chairs. So I'm gonna start trying to figure out what to do with all 200 of those. We have them in 19 chair lots. There's one lot that has a $5 bid on it, but there's still 9 lots of 19 that have no bid. So,
I'll take one of those.
yeah. If nothing else, when the guy calls to pick them up, I'll just try to pawn off more. So, since we finally got spring in the forecast, we're gonna get our first round of fertilizer on the football field, hopefully done Friday, so we can get that rain soaked in. And then Mr. Flanagan and I and Miss Nordoff have been working on, developing a tech ed based enrichment class to our summer program. And looking at a way to build like a woods, probably more specifically, program for the summer. Right now, we're thinking we'd probably open it up to kids going into 6th grade, because they can't take woods or shop classes till 7th. So this would give them a little introduction before they hit 6th grade. And then the thing we're gonna do with it is we're gonna tie it into our summer project list. So like this summer, we need a couple picnic tables replaced. So we're thinking that in our tech ed enrichment class, you know, as like our first offering, we would spend that class period and we would build new picnic tables that would stay here on the property with that group of kids. And then see where it goes from there.
What's a tech ed enrichment class? We always done that?
No.
No, this would be a new thing that we're gonna look at maybe building and growing in the future.
And it'll be probably more focused on woods. Another idea we've got, if we see maybe we need to expand, we've got a fence around an air conditioning unit that fell over, so we might even look at replacing that fence as part of like an enrichment class as well. So try to grow some of that tech ed into our summer enrichment classes. So we think we have a decent plan.
Awesome.
So far. So, and then I started the process, so I'm gonna be getting my teaching license as well, cause I have enough between my ag degree and my real world experience, I can get a experience-based license. So if I can get that, then these tech ed classes would be funded or however it works as well by the state, cause I would be a licensed teacher technically. If I don't get it in time this summer, we'll just have to pay for it out of pocket essentially, but it's not a large amount of money, so.
Great.
Sounds good, I like what you're doing, Ben.
So, quick question.
Yep.
Not a big deal. I don't know anything about these chairs, and I don't know what's on an auction site. In years past, we've always been ones that at least offer equipment locally if it's at the prices we are after. Did I miss something?
The brown chairs we have offered out, and I've got all those booked pretty much.
Okay. And I don't know, what else is there something else on the auction? Because I didn't know anything about it.
Oh,
I'm assuming you went on Wisconsin Surplus or something like
yeah,
that.
the enclosed trailer's on it, there's a genie lift on it, there's a vending machine on it, there's a pallet of floor scrubber pads that don't fit any of our machines on it, there's an old Kivak machine, an old scrubber machine, that have just been sitting in storage, so.
And I don't know, just in years past, we've always said, hey, at least let's put it on our page.
Yep.
Put what we would feel comfortable with before we give the opportunity of some other taxpayer buying it online for the same price as what one of our taxpayers had actually possibly paid for. I mean, I would suggest we just keep that in mind going forward. If if that committee wants to say, yeah, whatever, you put it on there for a week, so at least locals. If they want to buy it, fine. If not, ship it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just always been in the past, how we've done it.
Yep.
I didn't know we listed all that stuff either, so I don't know when it went on or whatnot.
Yeah, cause we were gonna have like the old handicap van on it, but we sold that locally and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There may be somebody, not everybody's on Wisconsin Surplus, you know, but not everybody's on our Facebook page either. I respect that, but.
Yep.
Okay, any additional questions for Ben? If not, thank you, Ben. The remaining items are appropriate for executive session. They are assistant football coach candidate, varsity boys basketball head coach candidate, summer cleaners candidate, musical tech director candidate, spring play director candidate. Okay, action from executive session. Item A is hire assistant football coach. Recommendation is Jordan Rowland.
Make motion approved?
Second that.
Motion by Chris, second by Stafford to approve. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item B, hire varsity boys basketball head coach. Recommendation is Will Swartz.
Make motion approved?
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Zubiller, or motion by Chris, second by Zubiller to approve. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item C, hire summer cleaners. Recommendation is Stephen Paisley, Sean McGranahan, Amanda Reiser, Stacy Ackroft, Megan Ritchie, and Courtney Moncrief.
So moved.
Motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Stafford, second by Chris to approve. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item D is hire musical tech director. Recommendation is DJ Bedzak.
Make motion approved?
Second that.
Motion by Chris, second by Stafford to approve. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item E is hire spring play director. Recommendation is Jeremy Wickham.
Make motion approved?
Second that.
Motion by Chris, second by Stafford to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item F, hire musical assistant director. Recommendation is J.C. Slim.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Stafford, second by Chris to approve. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. No action on hire an agriculture teacher. Item H is hire tech ed teacher.
Make motion approved?
Brady one. Second
Brady.
that.
Motion by Chris, second by Stafford to approve. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Item I. Oh, you abstained.
Abstain. Yeah. Sorry.
Item I is hire 4K assistant, school to work. Recommendation is Lily King and
Iko Campos.
Campos. Need a motion to
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Stafford, second by Chris to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item J is hire Debs ESL assistant school to work. Recommendation is Jennifer Also and Jonas. Motion.
Need a motion approved?
Second that.
Motion by Chris, second by Stafford to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And then item 21 is adjourned.
Make motion adjourned?
Second.
Motion by